Hi everyone, now we are going to start with another chapter, that is biodiversity. This is an important chapter. Alright, we will study a lot about what is biodiversity, the various types of biodiversity, the flora, the fauna, all the plants and animals, how we live in harmony, what are the various water cycles, what is happening in this biosphere that we live in. Alright, so we will start. Let's go. Now, what is biodiversity? Biodiversity refers to the variety and variability of life forms found on Earth. Bio means biology, diversity means diverse, right? So the various types of life forms that are found on this Earth, right? So that would be the birds, the animals, humans, bacteria, microorganisms. All these come under biodiversity. It is a very diverse sphere, right? It encompasses means contains all living organisms, the plants, the animals, the birds, the insects, everything, including plants, animals, microorganisms, as well as the ecosystems they inhabit. So as well as the deserts, as well as the mountains, as well as the cities, everything is a biosphere. Okay, their habitats, their ecosystems are all under the biodiversity. Biodiversity plays a important role, crucial role in maintaining the balance of ecosystems. Okay, so this diversity plays a very important role in balancing the ecosystem. One thing eats the other, how they live, how they are in their habitat, everything, and providing essential services such as clean air, water and food. Clean air, water and food. So now we will define the various biodiversity. Okay, so the first type is genetic diversity. Now what is genetic diversity? It refers to the variety of genes within a species. So for example, how many genes are there in a species? Now a species would be that of like humans, and in humans we have various genetic diversity. Someone is black, someone is Asian, someone is white, someone is brown, right? Various types of genetic diversity in humans. Now genetic diversity allows species to adapt to changing environments and increases their chance of survival. So for example, if the organism of some species, they start living in a different geographical condition, maybe in a very hot place, maybe in a very cold place, that is how they will develop different characteristics. All right, now for example, different breeds of dogs, right, varieties of crops demonstrate genetic diversity. I will show you. So for example, you see these dogs. Now these are all dogs, but some one is from America, one is from England, one is from India, and there are different colors of their fur, different breeds of dogs, right? This is genetic diversity, right? Genetic diversity is also seen in crops. See these potatoes are from Peru, these are from Germany, okay, these are from somewhere else. All they look very different, right? All of these potatoes look very different, but they are end of the day still potatoes. So this is genetic diversity. Okay, why do they develop genetic diversity? So that they are better able to adapt to changing environments. Okay, species. Now what are species diversity? It refers to a variety of different species present in an ecosystem. Okay, a higher species diversity indicates a healthier ecosystem. So what is an ecosystem? A rainforest, a desert, a hilly area, a snow-capped mountain, right? These are all ecosystems. Now how many species are present in that ecosystem? That tells me how healthy that ecosystem is. If there is a very less amount of species in that ecosystem, that means it is not very healthy. There is not a lot of food for everyone. It is not livable. It is not a good ecosystem. But supposedly a forest, a rainforest, it has a lot of plants, animals living inside it. It shows high species diversity, a high species diversity. Variety of different species present in an ecosystem, a higher diversity indicates a healthier ecosystem. Always remember. Okay, So if I can show you over here, see. Okay, this is a very nice diagram showing species diversity, ecological diversity, genetic diversity and all. Okay, so genetic diversity, a variety of genetic material found within a species. All right. So for a particular organism, how many types of genetic diversities occur? Now, species diversity, the number of species present in different habitats. So for example, in forest, how many different types of plants are there? Different species of animals are there, different species of birds are there. Okay, these all are species diversity. Now we come to ecosystem diversity. What is ecosystem diversity? Ecosystem diversity, it refers to the variety of different ecosystems on Earth. Okay, the variety of different ecosystems on this Earth. Ecosystem diversity ensures the existence of different habitats and niches, contributing to overall stability. So, how many types of ecosystems are present? The deserts, the polar regions, the forests, okay, the underwater, the seas, alright, all these comprise of ecosystems in which organisms are living. So ecosystem diversity ensures existence of different habitats and different species. So we can have aquatic animals, we can have flying birds, we can have animals living on in the forest, we can have animals living in desert. This is diversity, various diverse things. So coral reefs are for example, the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. It is a big reef made up from coral. Right? Coral is an organism which dies and its bodies accumulate to form land. Okay, coral islands are also formed. Deserts, wetlands, forest. These are different types of ecosystems. So let me show you ecological diversity. Right, this is ecological diversity. This is a desert, this would be a plain land, this could be a forest. There are seas around, there are a lot of seas on the earth, right? A lot of oceans, rivers, whatnot. Okay, we also have a functional diversity. The biological and chemical processes such as energy flow and matter recycling needed for the survival of species, communities, etc. So, for example, an organism dies, his body is decomposed, it is utilized by the soil, a plant grows, another organism eats the fruit of the plant. Okay, so this is a constant change of energy. That is functional diversity. Now we come to air pollution. What is air pollution? Air pollution refers to the presence of harmful substances in the air, right? Harmful substances in the air that can have detrimental effects on, detrimental means very bad effects on human health, ecosystems and biodiversity, right? These can have very bad effects on the human health, ecosystems and biodiversity. Now, gaseous air pollutants. So gaseous pollutants include substances such as carbon monoxide. So air pollutants could be of very types. They could be solid in nature, they could be gaseous in nature, right? We have all seen air pollution. Okay, air pollution is happening in major cities. There's a lot of pollution, okay, due to factories, due to gases, due to cars and all. So first is gaseous air pollutants. These include carbon monoxide. I have told you carbon monoxide is produced during combustion in presence of less oxygen. So if I add carbon plus O2, which is less, it will give me CO, true CO. Okay, CO, not carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. It is a deadly gas. Sulfur dioxide, SO2, sulfur salts, nitrogen oxides, NOx, and ozone, O3. These pollutants are often released from burning fossil fuels. Okay, when petrol is burnt, when natural gases are burnt, when diesel is burnt, when gasoline is burnt, when kerosene is burnt, all these things, when they burn, they produce these gases. Okay, industrial processes, industries produce a lot of gaseous air pollutant, right? Vehicle emissions, the vehicles, the cars, the bikes, the scooties, all these things, they produce, the trucks, the buses, they produce a lot of emissions, carbon emissions. release a lot of smoke. Vehicle exhaust emits nitrogen oxide. It gives out nitrogen, it gives out carbon dioxide, it gives out sulfur, contributing to air pollution. That is why they say switch to electric, switch to compressed natural gas. Why? Because there is less pollution. Particulate air pollution. Now PM 2.5, if anyone has heard, particulate matter. This is matter in particles. Okay, if this is present in vast quantity in the air, it is called pollution and it makes breathing difficult. Particulate pollutants consist of tiny solid or liquid particles suspended in the air, such as dust, smoke and soot. Okay, so if I burn something, I will have soot, smoke and dust. If this is present a lot in the atmosphere, in the air, it is a very polluted air and we are not able to breathe it. So these particles can be directly emitted or formed through chemical reactions. Through chemical reactions, they can be directly emitted or formed. Smoke from forest fires produces particulate matter that pollutes the air. Okay, so smoke from forest fires, right? Forest fires produces particulate matter, right? So for example, if there is a fire in the forest, all right, and the wood burns, it produces a lot of smoke on a large scale. So for example, the last one was in Canada, right? Forest fires. It happens in Australia. These forest fires, how do forest fires occur? So some are man-made, okay, some are by the mistake of man. A person, he lit a fire in the forest and it kept burning, it caught the wood, alright. Otherwise it can happen on its own as well. So if there is a lot of dry wood in the forest, okay, and wind is blowing and there is sun present as well, so that wind will cause friction with the wood and the heat from the sun, it will cause a fire, right? If one tree burns, other tree burns, this causes a fire. This fire produces a lot of particulate matter that pollutes the air. So this has a lot of smoke, it has a lot of dust and it has a lot of soot, right? A lot of soot. Now this causes PM 2.5 in the air. Effect of air pollution on biodiversity. Now since it is a lot of air pollution, how will it affect the biodiversity? Okay, air pollution can harm biodiversity in various ways. These include respiratory problems. It can affect the lungs, it can make breathing difficult, it can make animals choke, it can make taking in oxygen difficult, right? So it can make respiratory problems in animals and humans. Acid rain, these salts go into the air, right? They combine with the rain as they come down as acid, all right. It is very acidic, it can corrode our monuments, right? It can cause infections and mass deaths in aquatic ecosystems. It can affect the aquatic ecosystem, it can kill the fish, it can kill the aquatic life, right? Now, disruption of reproductive systems. It can cause a lot of genetic problems in humans. It can cause a lot of reproductive problems. Alright, it can cause hormonal imbalances. It can cause asthma. It can cause a lot of things in plants and animals. High levels of air pollution can lead to decline of sensitive species. Okay, so if there is a lot of air pollution in the air, it can decline the small sensitive species that are vital for the biodiversity, because most of the smaller organisms, they feed on sensitive species such as lichens. Alright, so lichens are an organism which is declining due to a lot of air pollution, right? If you have known that Delhi was regarded for its sparrows, right? Delhi had a lot of sparrows. Now we hardly see any sparrows. Why? Now because sparrows are migrating, because Delhi has a lot of pollution, right? A lot of pollution. So these are indicators of reducing air quality. So this is some example of where organisms are fleeing because of air pollution. Now let me show you. Now C over here, carbon monoxide, nitric oxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, particulate matter, volatile compounds, ammonia, all are going from, if you burn agriculture, if you know in winter months, right, the farmers near the Haryana, Punjab side, they burn that parali, okay, that is the leftover crop, so that they can grow new crops next season. Now that will that generates a lot of smoke and it travels with air towards Delhi, right, and it causes a lot of pollution in Delhi. There is not visibility, there is no, people are not able to breathe, okay. Volcanoes release a lot of gases, airplanes release a lot of emission, we get ships, we get cars and vehicles, we get factories giving out a lot of pollution, right. Sulfur trioxide, nitric acid, these come down as acid rain, okay, these come down as acid rain. It also harms the ozone layer, okay. This is air pollution. Now we come to the water cycle. Now what is the water cycle? The water cycle describes the continuous movement of water on, above and below the surface. So I think we have all studied water cycles in the past. Water evaporates, it condenses, falls down as rain, goes underground, also is used as rivers and all, it comes in our taps, again evaporates, again goes, condenses and comes down as rain. This is a water cycle, right? So the presence of water, the continuous movement of water, on means on the surface, above the surface and below the surface. It involves processes such as evaporation, condensation, precipitation and runoff, okay, the surface runoff, that is rivers, oceans. Now experiments with water, experiments related to the water cycle can help students understand concepts such as evaporation, condensation and precipitation. So if you have seen maybe in your early childhood, evaporation means the turning of water into water vapor and it evaporates into the air. Condensation means cooling down of those vapors to come down as rain. In monsoon there is a lot of rain, right? Precipitation is rain, okay. Now come to water harvesting system. What is the water harvesting system? Water harvesting refers to the collection and storage of rainwater. Collection and storage of rainwater. So since rainwater is fresh water, I can store it, right? I can use it for various purposes. I can even drink it after boiling it. I can bathe in it. I can store it for usage. So rainwater is fresh water, no salts in it, okay. If I store it, collect it, that is rainwater harvesting, okay. Let me show you. This is rain, okay, it is raining. The person has installed a pool like this, a tank and pool inside his house. So this is how rainwater will travel down to his tank where it is stored, okay. Save rainwater. You take rainwater, it is going by this into underground rainwater tanks, okay, so that the water stays protected, right. We can use it this water again, okay. This conserves water, it decreases the water bill. Since you are using water available in the nature naturally, it can decrease your bill. It lowers the demand for fresh water resources, okay. So there is a lot of fight for fresh water because fresh water is only 1% on this earth, right. So countries fight for water, okay. Now if there is a lot of fresh water, like we conserve this much fresh water in areas where it rains a lot, this can lower the demand for freshwater resources like underwater resources or taps and all. This can lower that demand for freshwater resources. Soil erosion, okay, so there is no more soil erosion because in rains a lot of soil washes off. If you conserve that rain, okay, that soil will not erode. It reduces flooding, okay. So during monsoons many of our cities they flood. If you install a rainwater harvesting system at home, you can prevent a flood to a much level, okay. Your home will not get clogged up, your nearby surroundings will not get clogged up. You can conserve that rainwater. Now we come to an important part, that is water pollution. Now what is water pollution? Water pollution refers to the contamination, means infection, getting dirty, of water bodies such as rivers, lakes and oceans. The water bodies are getting contaminated, they are getting polluted by harmful substances. Now what are these harmful substances? These can have a very severe impact on the aquatic life and ecosystem. So what is air pollution to us is water pollution to aquatic ecosystems, right? Now water pollutants can be categorized into physical, biological and chemical pollutants. These are the three types of pollutants of water, right? Physical, biological and chemical. Now what are physical water pollutants? These include sediment. Sediment means that sand, the rocks, the little debris and suspended solids, whatever solid is suspended in the water, the big solid, okay? These reduce the water clarity. This makes the water less clear, more muddy, and it affects the aquatic organisms' health, because if there is this sand and sediment in a big quantity inside the water body, then there will be not much oxygen for the aquatic organism, right? Soil erosion leading to increased sedimentation in rivers. So if there is not lot of soil that is covered with grass, that mud will wash off due to rains, it will go to the rivers and it will pollute the rivers, right? If this high sediment content is in rivers, this will be harmful for the aquatic bodies, right? So soil erosion. Biological water pollutants. Now what are biological water pollutants? Biological water pollutants include harmful microorganisms like parasites, invasive species that can disrupt the aquatic ecosystem. So if there is a parasite, okay, present in the water, it will affect the aquatic life, the fish, okay, some insects, they will infect the fish, okay. These are parasites that are inside water, protozoa and all. These will infect the aquatic ecosystem and pose risks to human health, because we will consume those aquatic fish, alright. We eat seafood, we will consume that water, okay. This could be very harmful for humans as well. Now what are chemical water pollutants? What are chemical water pollutants? These pollutants encompass various chemicals and toxins, okay. So you see this, these contain various chemicals and toxins including pesticides, heavy metals, industrial waste, okay, industrial waste, heavy metals, sodium, potassium, all these present inside it. Chemical pollutants can have toxic effects on aquatic life, right? Toxic effects on aquatic life and accumulate in the food chain. Alright, so this will go inside your system, it will harm your natural body, okay, it will accumulate in the food. So example would be, chemicals are released into the water by industries, by people, alright. You see over here, these chemicals will go into the aquatic life, the seafood that we consume, and ultimately be consumed by us. So it is very harmful for humans, okay. From agricultural fields, so for example, it rains in an agricultural field, okay, there were a lot of insecticides and pesticides put in the field to protect the crop. Now those will wash off, go into the rivers and ultimately to the oceans, right? Now these insecticides will harm the aquatic life again, okay. So this will ultimately harm us humans. Let me show you water pollution. So plastic is a very big source of water pollution, okay. It is polluting the seas, the oceans. It is making fish to go away, okay, migrate, reduce in quantities, okay. See over here, sources of water pollution, right? Acid rain, oil leakages, right? Pollution from households, soil erosion, all of these things. Now, what are the effects of water pollution on diversity? Again, it will lead to a loss of aquatic habitat. There is not much space will be left for aquatic animals and destruction of sensitive ecosystems. Okay, the small organisms, if there is a lot of chemical pollution in the water, where will the small organisms go? Okay, they will die out. Decline in fish populations, okay, and other aquatic organisms, like I told you. Harm to amphibians like frogs, okay, which live both on land and water. Birds, mammals that depends on clean water sources, so whales, right? Hippos, all of these animals that are mammals, but they depend on clean water sources, right? These will harm. These will undergo damage. They will undergo a lot of harm. They will reduce in population. Oil spills in the oceans can lead to death of marine organisms and severely impact marine biodiversity. So what are oil spills? Ships traveling containing oil from one country to another. If they get leakages, right, that oil will be spilled on the ocean, okay, and it will kill all the marine animals present at that point under that surface, right? Because oxygen will not be available. There will be a lot of toxins in the water, right? Let me show you again. So this is another example of water pollution. See, this organism is inside plastic. This turtle is inside plastic. Okay, these are the impact of water pollution. Now we come to forest and conservation. Now what is forest and conservation? Forests are complex ecosystems that support a wide range of plant and animal species. Forests have a wide range of plant and animal species. Okay, so they have a lot of plants, they have a lot of animals. Forest conservation is essential for preserving biodiversity and maintaining ecological balance. Okay, so if there is a good forest cover, it has a lot of biodiversity and maintains ecological balance. Forest and wildlife conservation. Forests provide habitats for numerous wildlife species. Okay, for a lot of wildlife species, forest is their home. They offer food, shelter, and breeding grounds for animals. Okay, so this is where the animals will find shelter, they will find food, and they will breed to form more animals, promoting their survival. Okay, now we have learned about the protected areas, we have learned about the national parks, we have learned about wildlife sanctuaries in conserving forest and wildlife. The Amazon rainforest is home to various iconic wildlife species like jaguars, macaws, and anacondas. So the Amazon rainforest, okay, what is the Amazon rainforest? On the river Amazon. I will show you a picture, right? So this is the Amazon rainforest based on the Amazon river, right? The Amazon river. Okay, we have macaws, we have jaguars, we have a lot of biodiversity in this jungle. Anaconda, snakes, birds, animals, you name it, you have it in Amazon rainforest. Okay, this is one of the biggest rivers. This is one of the biggest jungles, the rainforest in the world. It is based in South America. Okay, now what is soil? Soil is an important part of the biodiversity. Okay, soil is a vital natural resource that supports plant growth and provides essential nutrients for ecosystem. If there is no soil, there are no plants. There are no plants, there are no animals or humans, right? So soil is very important because it supports the life. Okay, we will understand soil composition and conservation. We should protect the soil as well. We should not let it get wasted away in sea, because it is very important for sustainable land management. We are losing a lot of land cover. Okay, over the past few years, a lot of land has been washed away in sea. Okay, now land is important, that is why soil is important. Now, soil conservation. What is soil conservation? Soil conservation are practices aimed to prevent soil erosion and degradation, so that soil does not wash away and it does not degrade. Techniques like plowing, terracing, and crop rotation can be taught to emphasize the importance of preserving soil fertility. Have you seen in Himachal Pradesh, the land is cut into these steps? Okay, that hill, the hill is cut in, suppose this is the hill, it is cut into these steps, right? Step farming. Okay, so that if soil washes away, it comes over here. Again, if it washes away, it comes over here. This is called step farming. Plowing, terracing, and crop rotation. If there is a crop, I grow one season. Okay, after that it is out of season, I grow another crop. In this way, that soil is being used again and again, it is getting fertilized again and again, and it will not be barren for a season, right? It will not be left barren for a season. Thus, there will be no loss of soil. No loss of soil. Soil profile. Now, what is soil profile? The soil profile refers to vertical arrangement of different soil layers or horizons. Okay, so how does our soil look? It looks like this. Rock, sand, mud, everything. It is layer by layer. We only see this part, this green, this part. There are a lot of layers to that soil. Okay. The soil profile refers to the vertical arrangement, vertical means straight, of different soil layers or horizons. Okay, we will study about the top soil, we will study about the subsoil, and we will study about the bedrock. Okay, so see over here. The top layer that we see, okay, that is the organic layer, that is the humus. Under this, where is it, the roots and the plants, that is the top soil. See over here, top soil. It contains minerals for the plants. Next, we have the alluviation layer. Okay, this light brownish part is the alluviation layer. It contains less amount of mineral and organic matter. Then we come to the subsoil, that is the third part, that is a little dark. Okay, it has minerals and metal salts. Then we come to the parent rock. Okay, the rock through which that soil was formed. Okay, partly withered rock. Then we come to the bedrock. Okay, bedrock is very hard. It is composed of rocks over which sand is deposited. Now let me tell you about the greenhouse effect. What is the greenhouse effect? The greenhouse effect is a natural phenomenon that helps regulate the Earth's temperature. Okay, this happens naturally and it is influencing the Earth's temperature, the overall Earth temperature. Okay. However, over the time, human activities have intensified this effect. Intensified means increase this, so that the temperature of the Earth is increasing, leading to global climate change. Globally, the climate is changing. Now, let me explain to you what is greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect occurs when certain gases, such as carbon dioxide and methane, these two gases, remember the name, they are trapped inside the Earth's atmosphere. So this is the atmosphere, sun is also heating the Earth. Now these gases are trapped inside the atmosphere, they are not able to escape, and this trapped heat warms the planet. These gases are very warm in nature, and due to the sun they get even warmer, and since they are not able to escape from the Earth, from the atmosphere, they increase the temperature of the Earth. Okay, this happens. This has always been around, but since now more carbon dioxide, more methane is being produced by humans, it is leading to global warming. Let me tell you about the Ganga Action Plan as well. The Ganga Action Plan is an initiative by the Indian government to clean and rejuvenate the Ganga River. Okay, so this was started in the time of Rajiv Gandhi, and it was an initiative by the government to clean the Ganga River, right? Let me show you a picture as well. Over here, to clean the Ganga River, you can see Varanasi, to clean this Ganga River, right? Now, there were various pollution sources, if you can see over here, a lot of plastic. People used to wash their the vessels, alright, the bartan, the vessels in the Ganga. They used to flow away a lot of religious ritualistic things like leaves, diyas and all, which used to contaminate the river. Okay, pollution, a lot of pollution in the Ganges river. Now, what was global warming? Global warming refers to the long-term increase in Earth's average temperature. So the Earth's average temperature has been growing really high over the past few years. Why? Because of the gases that are trapped inside the Earth due to the greenhouse effect, due to accumulation of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. It poses significant threats to biodiversity, ecosystems, and human societies. So what happens is, they will increase the temperature of the earth. This will lead to extreme weather events, okay, climate change. It will cause excessive rain somewhere or drought somewhere else, a lot of heat or a lot of cold, okay. There will be disparities, and this will be very harmful for us. We will not be able to grow crops, we will not be able to live. We will have a lot of cyclones, earthquakes, droughts, floods. This will be very harmful for us humans, right? How does it start? It starts just like this, okay. Our vehicles, our industries, they produce a lot of air pollution. It produces greenhouse gases. They are entrapped in this atmosphere. They are not able to escape. The sun reflects back to space by atmosphere. Sunlight is reflected by the surface, and some sunlight is absorbed by these greenhouse gases, which increases the temperature. Since this is very hot, it will increase the land temperature as well, right? So this was biodiversity. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. You learned a lot. Thank you.